Alright guys, so welcome to our WaterWorld 2.0 interview with Greg Dolph right here. He plays the Deacon for the WaterWorld Stunt Show here at Universal Studios Hollywood. And for those that don't know, Universal Studios Hollywood, along with Action Horizons, decided to change up the show to pretty much make the show a lot better. And with the amount of bleachers that just added here, with 3,200 seats, they really are anticipating high crowds. New feature, and they started working around the show around February to March during their dead time period. We're doing rehearse the show for two weeks of rehearsal. 2 weeks of rehearsal, and right behind us is a beautiful set of WaterWorld, which they recently did. They got brand new colors, got green, blue, all these different colors. And first of all, I'd like to thank Action Horizons for investing in a distraction, along with the Universal Studios Hollywood team for contacting Action Horizons to do the show again. And I'm a big fan of it. And since I'm here today on August 23rd
at 12:27 in the morning.
Yes,
Afternoon.
We are right now behind us. You're seeing the setup for the next showtime at 12:40 p.m. And let's get right started. So, Greg, why don't you introduce yourself to us and what?
Hello, my name is Greg Dolph. I've been very blessed to be a part of WaterWorld, the attraction here at Universal Studios, since opening day, October 21st, 1995. So we're coming up on our 19th birthday. For an actor, it's unreal, it's unprecedented to be in any single show for that long, so I feel really blessed and very fortunate. I've worked with some incredible people over the course of my time here, and I have so much fun every single day. Even after 19 years, I get out of bed and I look forward to coming to work because of the beautiful family that we have, because of the wonderful show and the audience that comes year after year. It's really great.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's good to see that you're still in the shop for almost 19 years. And I don't think a social's ever lasted this long in any theme park in the world.
You know, I know certainly the Indiana Jones show.
Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Exactly. I know that show has run for a long time. This park also had a grand tradition of doing Western stunt shows.
Western stunt shows.
And so we had a Western stunt show in some form or another for many, many years. Maybe as many as like 30 years or more.
Yeah.
But that was always constantly changing. To have a show run as long as this runs is really rare, and so it says a lot about certainly the show itself and about Universal Studios' commitment to this show and what it means to the park.
Yeah, because I know Universal Studios Hollywood, they really like the show, so we gotta have people coming here. Because in 2016, when the Wizarding World of Harry Potter opens,
yes,
right there, you're gonna get really high numbers in this show.
Yes, it's right behind that wall there. A couple of big cranes. You may not be able to see it in this shot, but they are absolutely right on the doorsteps of WaterWorld. So we're hoping that people go over there and then they come flooding right over here.
Yeah, because
fill all these 3,000 seats that we now have.
Yeah, because the entrance is right there. And I know the numbers have been really high for this show ever since it opened, because before you're kind of ratings have been kind of dropping a little bit with the
you know, we certainly know that Universal Studios reached a place where they were going to decide after nearly 19 years whether to keep WaterWorld or whether to invest a lot of money into it. And we are very grateful that at that particular point they decided, you know, we need to keep WaterWorld. Certainly WaterWorld is an old attraction. It doesn't necessarily turn the gate, but what they've discovered is that at the end of the day, when they ask people what did they see, what did they enjoy most, WaterWorld is right there at the top. So they recognize that WaterWorld has a very important role in terms of guest satisfaction ratings, and getting rid of it was not an option. It's too important to the park. And we say, thank you, Universal Studios, for making that decision, for the amazing facelift, for the 2.0 renovation that they did. And we feel like we're in a brand new show after nearly 19 years. We're very invigorated, and we feel like we have a lot of new aspects to the show, new features, new fights. We have some new people that have joined us, so there's a lot of fresh blood and fresh, innovative ideas that are being expressed in the show. It's really taking it to a whole new level. We loved WaterWorld 1.0, loved it. 2.0 is really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because I know with the brand new, I think revamp they kind of fix up some things that are a bit slow, kind of.
You know, it's funny because when you're doing it, we definitely had very good ratings over many years,
Yeah.
and the company that operated it for 19 years was operating it for 19 years because they were a very good company and they did many wonderful things. Universal Studios decided to make a shift in the operating company so that they would be more in line with the other WaterWorld shows that are around the world, and it's proven to be a very different, a more layered, textured show. But we certainly loved and celebrated the show that we had here that kept us all afloat for nearly 19 years. This is really a cool show. If you haven't seen the new WaterWorld show, you really need to come and see it. It's a vastly improved and more textured show than the other one, which was really quite wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. And I know my friends at school, they ask, WaterWorld's still there? I'm like they don't even know that WaterWorld's still here in the park. They're like, wow. Like,
yeah.
And you know, they all love WaterWorld. Everybody who I talk to say, dude, that WaterWorld show's pretty cool.
We had some people come to the show the other day. They were from out of country. They were from, I think, Australia or something. And they were on their way out, and they had a couple of girls. And the parents told us, they said, we were on our way out of the park. We were finished with our day. And we just happened to be walking by as WaterWorld was about to start. So we came in and watched it, and it blew them away. And they said, this was the best thing we saw all day. And these are people who are just about to leave the park.
Yeah. And as you see right now, they're starting to open the gates.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We may have to continue this outside.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So stay tuned for part 2.
Part 2.
All right. So we're back over here by the beautiful tree behind WaterWorld, and as you hear right now, the WaterWorld Stunt Show is going on currently. So that's really exciting. So you get a bonus right there. Hey, let's get right started into the interview. So first question is, how did you get involved in this industry?
In this industry or the show?
In the industry.
Well, when I went to grad school, I was really fortunate enough to take 3 full years in grad school of combat training, theatrical combat training, assisting the instructor for my 2nd and 3rd year of grad school. So by the time I left grad school, I had 3 years of having a sword in my hand and throwing punches and kicks at people, and that really sort of shaped my career path after that. First and foremost, an actor, but being an actor that specializes in physical work sort of opened certain doors and was a natural inroad into the live action show and stunt work in the film and television industry.
Yeah, I know you're involved in a lot of things. I was on the side website and my name. That's a huge list.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I always call myself first and foremost an actor.
Yeah.
And then certainly theatrical combat training and teaching is something that's very near and dear to me. And I've had a lot of wonderful opportunity to write and direct thanks to Gary Thompson and Waterski Shows Inc. And I've actually done some choreography in the past for Action Horizons as well when they were running the Bill and Ted show several years ago. So the things on the website there, that's a lot of directing stuff for Waterski Shows Inc.
I know you went out to something recently.
Yeah. It's really hard. You hear a lot of gunfire in the background.
Yeah.
It's a very violent interview. Eric and I are having to duck and cover from the heavy artillery that is coming in.
Sorry.
Hey. Germany. I've been able to go for 15 years. There's a park over there called Holiday Park, and they have a wonderful. It's a big theme park over there in Germany, and they have a water ski show. And I've been really blessed to write and direct that show for the last 15 years. Wow. So it's an annual trip that I go, and really wonderful. Yeah.
I think we should move the camera a little bit closer.
We can.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Give it a go. Just so we're not competing.
Where you're going.
Yeah. There we go. Scoot in. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello again. Welcome back.
Okay. Wait.
Here comes the Deacon.
Yeah.
The famous Peter Gunn entrance music.
Yep.
Sheridan Chris is on there today, and he is a wonderful, wonderful Deacon. He's been doing the show for many, many years. For those of you who like trivia, there's one other show in the park that uses the same Peter Gunn theme for their famous entrance.
Right there, the Blues Brothers show.
Blues Brothers show.
And I got 2 different attractions, but same.
We have a wonderful guitar riff in the middle of ours to make it a little edgier.
Yeah, I agree. But holiday park. I forget that part.
Yeah,
it's a fun park.
They have a world-class roller coaster there called the Expedition G-Force. It's ranked annually as one of the best in the world.
It's crazy. Nice. Yeah. But what do you like most about your profession as an actor?
Well, oh my goodness, I could go on, but I would say that, you know, from being from the earliest ages of being a kid, you know, you play good guy, bad guy. I had a big family, 4 brothers and 2 sisters, and we had many friends in the neighborhood. We would play cowboys and Indians, we would play cops and robbers, we'd play, you know, your team against our team, and so just to be able to suddenly, to be doing this as a man, and to be playing the bad guy and running around and shooting and, you know, playing the catalyst in that show of good versus evil, it's a blessing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I have a lot of fun. I think it's really an incredible show and wonderful experience. And as I said earlier, I'm so excited to come to work every day. I love the people. I love the family of people that I get to work with. Wonderful, wonderful friends. All of them dear friends. It's a family, and I love the audience, and I love live theater. There's nothing like it. Being able to stand out there and break down the fourth wall between us and the audience is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And we have some great audiences from all over the world, and they're all always really beautiful.
I mean, I noticed that the audience has been very responsive to the show now.
Yeah, they have, definitely. They've been very responsive.
Yeah, I like to see that type of response for this type of show. It's very awkward when you don't. Yeah.
Yes, silence can be good or bad.
Yeah, it can be good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, how much do you draw from your own experience when you act?
From my own experience.
Yes.
Well, Eric, it's interesting. I always think that a character. This is hard, but generally, I definitely, I have made this character. There are certain traits about this character that are supposed to be. We have the old show and then we have the new show. The old show, the idea was that the deacon was the charismatic leader of this evil band of raiders, and I felt I could kind of play with the character a little bit more and really be me, but sort of an evil me. But now the show, its new form, they really want it to be a lot edgier, and my bosses have actually told me, they go, look, that, you know, the deacon that you've been doing for 19 years isn't necessarily the deacon we want now. We want a deacon that nobody likes. We don't want people to like you. We want them to hate you, and that is we're still early on in that transition, but I'm trying to make the deacon a little edgier, trying to make him certainly more sinister. I still probably have a bend towards being a little quirky and witty, maybe more so than is required under the current configuration, but it's a metamorphosis, so I hope the audiences enjoy what I'm doing. Definitely it's a family part, and for my heart also I try to have a certain personal line as a performer that I recognize that there are small children who come and watch it, and so I'm trying to be evil, edgy, and maniacal, but I also recognize that there's a small child at the other end of that, at the meet and greet, that will come up, and so I'm trying to go as far as I can without.
Yeah. I noticed that you're a lot more meaner in the show. With you shooting Chuck, you're like, yes, winner, and it's a lot more deacon, as much as there's mean evil, so the balance.
Well, I'm hoping that people notice that there's, I'm hoping that they see a difference in the show, that it's a more layered, a more serious show. We definitely have moments of levity and comedy, and we're always trying to find new moments to make the show a real roller coaster ride for the audience, so that we take them to the edge of their seat. It's serious and dramatic, and it's so much greater than what you might expect from a theme park show. And that's not to knock theme parks, but we want people to look at it, and we want to beat all expectations. We want people to come in thinking, well, we're going to go see a theme park show, and be blown away by the overall quality of what they see. That's the goal.
Quality of the show is so much better now. It's not just love that there's actually constantly going on and there's not a lot of death spots.
There definitely is a lot more going on.
There's a lot more. And
the show is almost 2 minutes longer, but it's full. It's absolutely full of stuff from beginning to end.
Yeah, I have time to show these past few months. It's on a 16.5-minute show now. As it used to be a 14.5-minute show.
Yeah.
And now with the branding, voiceovers and reading microphone, you get a lot more freedom to work around a script, if something goes wrong.
Yeah, we have now 3 mic'd characters, the Deacon, Helen, and the new character, Sage, which is a wonderful addition to the show that we did not have for the last 19 years. Sage ends up being he breaks that wall early in the pre-show, establishes himself with the audience, and then during the whole opening taking of the atoll, he is a liaison between the cast and the audience is embraced as atollers, and so they really feel like they've been being taken into the show and into really what was the feeling of them that was captured in the making of the motion picture. So Sage is a great new addition to the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's funny is that when I heard about the change, I was a bit, skeptical about it's so better or worse quality. Oh look, it's so much better now. And the sound effects, it's just amazing. And
yeah, one of my favorites is all the upgrades of the sound.
Oh yeah.
You can hear some of it now, but really to sit in the theater, the whole grid, the whole sound grid has been upgraded. So the speaker array and the subwoofers underneath the stands make you feel like you're actually in the motion picture. And they remastered the whole score. They took it down and they treated it. Universal Studios took it in-house, just like they would master a score for a motion picture, and they upgraded all of the sound effects. And you really do feel, not just hear the difference, you feel the difference in the show.
Yeah, it's just a little trivia. There are 72 subwoofers in this arena alone. So each section holds 24. They got 6 speakers on top of you, and you got to feel on the actual atoll itself. So you get a full 360 experience. I know I interviewed Sean Luther.
Yes.
He was talking about being more us into that show, saying that we can actually feel the show.
Very much so. Yeah.
That's one big plus. I know the old sound system was okay. So you got multiple speakers.
Yeah.
One section is. But now it sounds a lot more richer.
It does. And again, I think you can become very content with something and think it's absolutely fine until you suddenly have something better and you go, whoa, how did we survive without this for so long? It really is a substantial upgrade in the show.
I agree. So how old were you when you started doing acting and stunt?
Well, I started acting in middle school.
Wow.
And then I started really doing more stunts in grad school, so I was in my early 20s, graduated at 25. Went east for a while and did some shows, and then came out to Los Angeles in 93 at the tender age of 29, I think I was, 29, and 90, and I started doing the Batman Stunt show, like in my late 20s. And
yeah, I heard about that. Sean told me that you're back in middle school doing the Batman part. I mean, mid-20s.
Yeah, I came out in 93, and then I was cast in the Batman Stunt show, and I went to Chicago. I left town for a few months to do the Batman Stunt show in Chicago, and it was there that I met Sean Lozier, who was one of our sages, and 2 summers later, I ended up going back and directing the Batman Stunt show there. And Sean was in the show, and Brandon Lozier, his brother. So it's funny, in this community, there are many people. A lot going on in there right now. A lot of explosions. But yeah, it's a close-knit community. And so I've worked with many of these people in other venues and other locations. And that's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Like connections. Yeah, for years. And I know I've seen this stunt show, the Batman Stunt show online. Acting like that seaplane.
There was a seaplane coming in.
It's very loud, guys.
Big explosion. Water cannons.
It's really loud, guys. Just be aware of really loud sounds. But anyway, so what did you audition to play the WaterWorld show?
Well, I'd been doing the Batman Stunt show, and I'd also already been directing. So I'd been directing the Batman Stunt show and Police Academy Stunt show. So I actually heard about this show, and I came in and interviewed to direct the show.
Wow.
And actually, a good friend of mine who was also directing at the time, a guy by the name of Tito Enriquez, he came into the interview right after me, and he convinced him that he should direct the show. And it was a good thing. He was a perfect fit. His brother, Rick Enriquez, is currently the casting director for the Conan O'Brien show. So that family is loaded with talent, sweet, wonderful people. So I auditioned for the show.
Yeah, you did.
And I was cast, and I've been fortunate to be in the show ever since.
And the show's about to get, well, I mean, if I ever heard pretty good much, I want to move location again.
Right.
Yeah, we might need to. But anyway, so do you identify his character in a way as like Deacon?
Do I identify it? In this way, I think that he is I think he's a communicator, and he's in an apocalyptic world where he has to rally people. I don't personally like to play a character that's absolutely all bad. I think that when people are bad, generally they're motivated to do something.
Yeah.
They believe in their heart that they're doing something for the best of all the people around them. And yes, it may have selfish underpinnings to it. They want more power, they want more money, they want more control. But I think the Deacon ultimately thinks that what he's doing is right. He's just going to do it however he can, and will justify the means.
Now it's going on. Hey, it's loud, guys.
Very loud.
It's very loud.
Here's the final, the prologue, or the epilogue. The Mariner wins again! No! Every time Helen finds that flare gun, and what a shot from that distance. So Eric, the cast of WaterWorld, and here they come, doing the credits for all of the performers.
Yeah, well, not all of these actually work in film and television, but it can be him. He was in Resident Evil, and he was in a Conan O'Brien show. But, so what brought you here to Universal Studios Hollywood? Because I know you kind of talked about hearing about this show.
Yeah, I think once you're doing live shows, you know, word spreads about other shows that are opening up. And this Universal is sort of, I think, such a great place to work, and it's an international card. And I think once you're in the community of shows, when you find out that there's another show, if it interests you, you come and audition, and that's what happened with me. And it's a great training grounds because we have a part-time job essentially with full-time benefits, so we are able to do shows, and yet we're able to pursue other work outside of here. So really, it's a perfect fit for most of the people here because we can work. If we get jobs, we just call somebody and to come in and cover us, and that's a beautiful thing. So it's a perfect day job for anyone who wants to work in the industry.
It's probably one of the most unique ones out there. Because I'm pretty sure there's no job where you do stunts and that involves fire and stuff in a theme park. You know, like,
well, I'm sure that there are, but we are in the center of the entertainment industry. We're here in Hollywood, and so it's a beautiful, perfect fit for us.
People are starting to leave.
So here comes people. I'm not sure if we're at the end of that, or
no, we got it.
I might have to go soon. But.
Yeah, unless you're gonna interview us a little later tonight. You know, because I think that'd be best. Later. There's different parts throughout the day.
Come see WaterWorld 2.0. Thank you so very much, Eric, for all of the amazing things that you do for Universal and for our show and our attraction. So great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And maybe we can interview a little bit more tonight. Probably after maybe after the last show.
All right, so we're back here at WaterWorld. Here we are. Third part of the interview.
Yeah, 3 parts. So
you can see the seaplane being reset in the background.
Right there, yeah. So next question is, who's your role model, or who, like do you have a role model that kind of get it?
Well, I'm a homeboy from the Midwest, so I got to go to my parents. Certainly, I love my dear parents. I no longer have them. I've unfortunately lost them over the years, but they were very instrumental. And many of the people that I went to high school with, I had a wonderful group of people in the drama department and in the speech department, and many people who mentored me over the years, and hopefully put my head on straight and gave me good sensibility and good priorities. I love actors, some classic actors. I love Peter O'Toole. I was really sorry to see him go. I loved all of his work. Many others, Robert Duvall, Michael Caine, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. So those are certainly some people, some classic performers that I looked up to over the years.
Wow, it's so how long were you in the show for?
This show?
Yeah.
Day one, October 21st, 1995, when the gates opened to the paying public. I was really blessed to be a part of that first show and that first cast. I've kept track over the years of how many shows, and I estimate that that as of Thanksgiving time last year, I've done over 10,000 shows.
Oh my!
So I know,
oh, man,
it's a lot of shows, and still fresh as a daisy.
Wow, is me. I would get bored of this if I were to just 10,000 times.
Well, having a live mic makes a big difference
a little bit.
So they give us a little bit. They like us certainly to do the same show. They want to make sure that the quality is maintained, but it's live for a reason because we have to remain a little bit fluid and spontaneous with what's going on, and that definitely keeps it exciting and interesting on a daily basis.
So tell me how your first public performance was like.
Well, it was 19 years ago.
Yeah,
if it was this one, but I remember we had there were many. It was a grand opening, and then we had many people here. We had press. We actually had one of the characters from WaterWorld, the little girl. If you remember the motion picture, she played Enola. She was here. Over the next several months, we had other people from the show show up. We had a wonderful picture opportunity with Kevin Costner, who is the star of WaterWorld, a very nice man. But I remember it being a very big affair for Universal Studios, and we were certainly excited and proud to be a part of that event.
So, how was the opening ceremony like?
The opening ceremony was beautiful. Universal Studios. I mean, they throw out the red carpet. They always do an amazing thing, an amazing job when they have a new attraction that they're trying to get out there and introduce it to the world. So it was great. It was really wonderful. We felt very special. As you can imagine, a show this size. I'm not sure that everything worked on day one. Certainly, there was a lot of fine tuning that happened in that first year, so that everything would work better. But I believe everything for that first show, that first day, I think it was pretty much a successful event. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I'm naked. So what do you guys do before you guys start your first show of the day?
Well, we often joke, Eric, that there's a show backstage as well. I think if the audience knew what was going on only 3 minutes prior to the show starting, I think they'd be surprised. But generally, it's, we all know each other very well. There's a wonderful, everybody sort of tries to get hyped up, so everybody has their own sort of way of like getting themselves energized, running around, people high-fiving, everybody's sort of just getting psyched up for the show. It's funny, there's a lot of very funny ritual of like handshakes and high fives and salutes, and stage managers and crew people are all involved as we get on the boats and we go off. We may high five and knuckle and salute, and at the beginning of the curtain call, at the end of the curtain call, and everybody sort of has their own little thing that they do, but it's very fun, and it's like kids. It's like a bunch of kids getting ready for like a dodgeball game.
Smokers in the distance!
Where? Battle stations! Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're about to open again.
Yeah. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this performance.
So what is your favorite stunt?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there are a lot of them. I really love the new one. If you haven't seen the new show, they actually carved out a new part of the pool. They deepened it so that for the Slide for Life, as Helen is leaving the Slide for Life platform, the number 5 character runs after her, pursues her, and actually does a big dive. And it always gets a great reaction from the audience as he does a caveman into the audience. Certainly the fire dive needs to get a nod. I love that. I love the seaplane. How can you not? One of my favorite effects in the show is the fire on the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fire on the water. You come see the show at night, the pyrotechnics are amazing, all the flame. The fire on the water. Fire and water, how do those two things go together?
I know.
It's spectacular.
Earlier, when I was watching the show, they're like, hey, how did you fire and water? I'm like, it's a special technique.
I like a lot of the fights too. We've upgraded a lot of the fights.
You guys have, yeah.
So the fights are really wonderful. They're beautiful.
Yeah, you're very smooth and
Ladies and gentlemen,
one after another.
this show contains many water effects.
Wait, what do you
For your
miss about
protection, we
WaterWorld
recommend that you
1.0?
keep all belongings off the floor
Well,
and cover any camera or video equipment you
I said
have.
earlier that I'm a
If you have any
performer
questions or would like
first,
assistance,
certainly a
please see a show
director and a
attendant.
teacher and instructor.
Thank you, and enjoy
second.
the show.
So the director
Ladies
in
and
me
gentlemen,
understands
this show
the
contains
nature of the
many
show
water
and
effects.
quality must be
For your protection, we
maintained. So it
recommend
has to be consistent.
Ladies and
Absolutely, from a
gentlemen,
safety
this
standpoint,
show
it has to be
contains many
consistent.
water
From an
effects.
artistic
For your
standpoint,
protection, we recommend
the
that you
first
keep
show
all
I probably played a lot more. It was a little looser. It was a little more comical. So
Ladies
for
and
many
gentlemen,
years,
welcome to this
the child in me was
performance of
probably able to explore a
As you
little bit more. So I miss a little bit of the fun.
Yeah.
But I do think that we are finding the fun in this show. It's a more serious textured
It is,
show.
yeah.
It's a better show. And I think we are finding more of the levels and more of the fun and finding the humor in the show. But yeah, that would probably be it.
Yeah, so just a few more questions. So have you seen the WaterWorld movie?
Oh yes. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's interesting.
this show contains
Yeah,
many water
I love the
effects.
movie actually.
Yeah,
For your protection,
I think the movie
recommend
has many wonderful action sequences in it. The movie was shrouded in controversy from day one.
Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen,
At the time,
this
it was
show
the most
contains
expensive
many
motion
water
picture ever
effects.
made.
For your
So a lot of
protection,
people were
we
scratching
recommend
their
that you
heads
keep
saying,
all belongings
"Is it
off
worth
the
all that
floor
money?"
And cover any camera or
There were
video
many
equipment
famous
you may
things that
have.
happened during
Yeah.
the movie
If you have
that
any
really put
questions or would
a
like
cloud
assistance,
over it.
please
But
see a show
I think if people go back and look at the movie,
Ladies and gentlemen,
they'll recognize
this show
that
contains
the
many
action
water
sequences in the
effects.
movie
For
and
your
much of the
protection,
movie is
we
actually quite enjoyable. It's a,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
agree, yeah.
pretty fun ride.
Yeah, so these are from our audience.
Oh, cool.
So what is your favorite attraction here at Universal Studios Hollywood?
Well, of course, it's WaterWorld.
Yeah.
But I have a 12-year-old son, almost a teenager.
Wow.
He'll be a teenager in just a couple of weeks. And we are big roller coaster
Ladies and
enthusiasts.
gentlemen, this show contains
We love The
many
Mummy.
water effects.
We love
For
Jurassic
your
Park, the
protection, we
ride.
recommend that you
That's a
keep
lot of fun.
Yeah, that's nice. So this is from Chris. What do you guys do to spice things up in order so that you guys don't get? So basically, this question is, do you guys do anything special to make sure that the show isn't boring?
Yes, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of, we are mic'd and we have to keep it within certain framework, but definitely the show itself has things go down that keep us on our toes. And then we're sort of exploring, we have a lot of one-on-one relationship moments in the show that definitely keep it fresh. We have an exchange of personnel from day to day. There's different people in, and that makes things different and new and alive too.
And this is not
I know we have to leave, so yeah.
So one very last question. This is from Alex. What are some of your favorite elements in the show?
We talked about them already. There are a lot of wonderful stunts in the show, great pyrotechnics, the upgraded sound system, and I love the family. I love the people in the show. So many wonderful friends, dear friends and family.
Well, that's going to end it for this interview.
Eric, thank you so very much. Thank you for everything that you do for Universal and for our show. Thank you so much for continuing to come see the show. And if you haven't seen the new show, please come and see it. Stop on by and say hi.
Yeah, you guys can check out our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook and Twitter. That's going to be on our website or on our video soon. And be sure to check out WaterWorld Alive, see where spectacular here at Universal Studios Hollywood. And that'll be it. So
thank you.
Yeah, of course.